had a situation where he had to write out 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. And he's like, man, I wish there was an easy way to write that. That's just too much. Why do I have to write all that out? Like maybe you have 2 kids and they have 2 sandwiches for 2 days of the week and all that cost $2. And you want to know how much money that cost you. Maybe you don't. I don't know. Maybe you never have come across this way. Well, there is an easier way to write this. Instead of writing 2 times 2 times 2 out of 2, I can write 2 to the 4th power. So that little number 4 right there is called an exponent. Whoops. Let me write that again. 2 to the 4th power. So that number right there, that's an exponent. And this number 2 right here, this is called the base. And this whole thing, everything is called a power. So when we deal with exponents, exponents are really just a shorthand, sorry it's so blurry, for multiplication. How do I unblurify that? There we go. Nope, yep, there we go, sort of. So when you take applied math with me or with another math teacher, there's lots of formulas that use these exponents. Usually it's to the 2nd power, sometimes it's to the 3rd power. In all honesty, in real life, you probably don't use an exponent higher than 3, but you never know. So let's look at the notes. Let's see how this applies to the notes. So exponents. So yeah, the whole thing is power. That number at the top is called the exponent. The thing at the bottom, the 5, is the base. So I would read this as 5 to the 3rd power. 5 to the 3rd power means I'm multiplying 5 3 times. So they give you the example, 5 to the 3rd means 3 factors of 5, or 5 times 5 times 5. So I could write 5 to the 3rd power is the same as saying 5 times 5 times 5. So I have the number 5 written, number 5, but I have it written 3 times. So 1, 2, 3. That's what an exponent does. So an exponent is a way to save space when you multiply this the same number multiple times. Okay, so let's try to calculate this just for fun. 5 times 5 times 5. If somebody has a calculator, what would 5 times 5 times 5 be? And actually gives you the answer. So what's 5 times 5? Let's do that. 25. So 25 times 5. 125, yep. So this equals 125. 5 to the 3rd power, or 5 raised to the 3rd exponent, is 125. And it gives you that example down there. So how are powers read aloud? So they give some examples. So these examples are good mainly because of you hear me say this a lot. So 3 to the 1st power, which by the way is the same as just 3. I don't say 3 times anything because that 3 is the base. 1 tells me how many times to multiply it. So 3, but I just really just multiply it once. So it's just 3 by itself. 5 to the 2nd. You can say, or 5 to the exponent 2, you can say 5 to the 2nd power, or 5 squared, and this would be 5 times 5. 4 with a 3, that would be 4 to the 3rd power, or 4 cubed, which would be 4 times 4 times 4. 2 to the 4th, so that's 2 multiplied 4 times, so 2 times 2 times, times 2 times 2. So see if you take a minute and see if you guys can do this bottom part. I'll write it on the board. But see if you guys can write out that bottom part. Don't really focus on the answer, but just write out. So I wrote 2 to the 4th is 2 times 2 times 2. So 5 to the 6th power, 10 to the 4th. What would 14 squared look like? Try those examples at the bottom, and then we'll check your answers together. So what you guys get for the first one? 5 to the 6th power would equal what? Yeah, 5 times 5 times 5. 6 times, right? So yeah, just make sure I have 6 5s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, 6 5s. Okay. And then 10 to the 4th. Yeah, 4 times. So we have 10 times 10 times 10 times 10. Yep, so 14 squared would be 14. And remember, squared means 2. So, yeah, there we go. 7 to the 3rd. Yep, I should have 3 7s. 7 times 7 times 7. 6 to the 9th. Yep. Well, it's 6 with a 9 exponent, right? Yeah. Yep. And there we go. Yeah. So let me show you guys today's worksheet. I'll show you one of them. We'll do maybe the first couple problems together. Sure, ask a question. Right. So yeah, let's go and do that example. I'm gonna show you guys a calculator. I think it should show up on the screen. Instead of doing that by hand, I think we're at the point now where I'm comfortable with you guys using calculators because this is gonna be long if you did this by hand. So I would do 5. Does that show up? No, not really. Hang on one second, guys. What time was that? Flashlight? Yeah, there we go. So 5 times 5 was 6. Make sure I have 6, that's 5. So one more. And then just press enter. I get 15,625. And then same thing for 10, I would do 10 times 10 times 10 times 10. 10,000. So there's a shortcut with the calculator, but I want you guys to practice like this just for today, just so you guys get the idea of what exponents do. There you go. Did it right away? Okay. Yeah, I will show you guys, but I want you guys just to get used to it just for today, just so you guys know what exponents do. So say you guys have 2 practice sheets. See if you guys can get through at least one before the day's over today. This is what they look like. They're just simple numbers with exponents. So like for example, 1 to the 7th power would be 1 times 1 times 1 times 1 times 1 times 1 times 1. 3 to the 5th power would be 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. By the way, do you guys know the answer to this one? Number 1, 1 to the 7th power?
7?
I'm not adding, we're multiplying.
Oh, now no. Sorry.
Yeah, 1. Because 1 times anything is 1. We're just multiplying 1 a bunch of times. That would be 1. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
So you don't need to write them out, but I do want you guys to have the answers there.
I think they wrote some on the back. Yeah, they just